Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 and we're back with another Star Wars review. This time we're going to take a look at the final figure in the second wave of the 6-inch Black Series figures for Star Wars Rogue One, and that is C-3PO, based on his Resistance design in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now I think at this point this is kind of safe to say that I don't think we'll be seeing any new 6-inch Force Awakens figures after this point. If they do, it's a little bit of a surprise since they actually made most of the main players outside of possibly Leia and Luke Skywalker, although Luke Skywalker did not have much of a relevance in Force Awakens in terms of actual screen time, so I think it's better off still to wait till episode 8 for that one. Anyway, so we'll take a look at the box. The box is still pretty close to the 6-inch Walgreens exclusive. I don't remember exactly what direction the C-3PO was looking on the box, but I think this is about the same. It does say Resistance base here on the front there. Shows that it is number 29, and it has a bio on the back as normal. If you already have the Walgreens exclusive original trilogy design, then in terms of the overall design of the figure, you're not going to get a whole lot of difference. It does have two major design changes, and that's the fact that he does have the red arm, and if you actually read the one-shot comic, this will actually be explained why and how he actually got the red arm, and also the inner abdomen wire design is different on this figure, and I was actually kind of surprised to see that the first time when I saw the photos online. Articulation-wise, it's exactly the same. The head can swivel 360. What's weird about this figure for mine is that while the head joint itself is tight, looking in 360, and also looking left and right, it still has the somewhat bobblehead that I've seen with the standard Walgreens exclusive version, and I don't know what causes that. He does have the same shoulder swivels, along with the second inner shoulder joint being a separate piece. Ball joints at the shoulders with the same restrictions with no elbows. He does have the same wrist joints as seen with the Walgreens exclusive. Does have the really nice abdomen articulation, so that's nice. So at least the waist is not that loose. He does have just about that much movement once again in the hips. Can swivel. Also at the thighs. The single joints at the knees. And it can go a little forward and back again if you wished. And he does have the fully articulated ankles as we've seen with the other figure. So the figure itself on its own is pretty much the same with the Walgreens design, except for obviously the two minor and major design changes. Anyways, we're going to take a look at him next to his older counterpart and some of the other droids. And here he is side by side between him and the original trilogy design. I forgot to mention that the leg obviously is the golden design rather than being the silver design as seen in the original trilogy, but other than that, it's pretty much the same overall figure outside of the different paint and wiring design changes. As comparison, here is the Force Awakens version of C-3PO next to R2-D2, which is once again still the incorrect scale since R2-D2 needs to be a little bit bigger. But since he is part of the Force Awakens design, here he is next to the 6-inch BB-8 as well. So, he at least scales decently enough to BB-8, but obviously not so much with R2-D2 on his own. In conclusion, this is still a pretty decent figure to get a hold of, though maybe it's something not so much to double dip on, especially if you got the original trilogy design, or prefer the original trilogy version of C-3PO in the first place. It is kind of weird that this figure is actually harder, if not the same amount of difficulty to find as the Walgreens exclusive version. For some bizarre reason, it seems like this wave in general, the second wave, is extremely hard to find overall. The Trooper, Director Krennic, and C-3PO have been spotted for some time at several different retail locations, but I have not been able to find them, and every time I check online outside of the C-3PO, a lot of the other two figures are always sold out. So this wave is kind of a very elusive wave to find, and it was nice to actually find this particular figure at Target, along with the Scarab Stormtrooper. So if you already have the C-3PO from the Walgreens design, or if you already just care for the original C-3PO, then this is definitely an easy pass. But if you want a version represented for the Force Awakens, or just one in general to represent the one with the red arm, then I still say this is a recommended pickup. Anyways, please comment and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check me on Twitter under Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see the latest content come up on my channel. I'll be back with more Star Wars reviews, but for now, see you YouTube. Bye.